Hello, it is me, Tkiljoy, and welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video, guys, I am very sick, so my voice does not sound that great right now, so I completely apologize for that. But I had to get this video out to you guys. You guys have been enjoying these Skyrim videos. So, the other day I did a stream, so most of this was done live. We were trying to see if you could beat Skyrim using only the stormcall shout. So, using only the Stormcall shout, I'm just going to answer this right away. No, no, you cannot. For one, Stormcall shout can only be used outside. Surprise. And for two, using Stormcall shout will not work to kill Alduin in either fight. The first fight with him and the Sovngarde fight with him. So, anyway, let's just get into this. We chose the Mage Stone because, as you can see, we are using electricity. So the only caveat to even trying to get this to work was that we could use sparks as the alternative because you can't use Stormcall inside. So we murdered some bandits very, very simply. I mean, it's all there is to it. Killed the starter bandits in the cave. Using sparks is super good at this low level. We then headed up to Bleak Falls Barrow, where we kind of had to avoid a lot of fights. We don't have the Stormcall shout yet, so we can't really hurt them outside. But inside, we can definitely use sparks. So, we murdered the bandits inside pretty easily. Their health just drains when you zap them with electricity. Use that zippity zap, as I call it. The outlaw was a little bit harder because he had a bit more health, and it just overall just took a little more out of me. But with just a little bit of extra zippity zap, it was pretty easy. The frostbite spider was mostly just whittling down its health and trying not to die myself. But after some quick zaps, he was pretty dead. The Draugr were pretty simple as well. They don't do too nicely when it comes to electricity. Except for when it came to like the Restless Draugr. Those guys are actually pretty difficult to beat. Same with the Draugr Overlord. That was mostly just whittling down its health, trying not to run out of mana. So kind of abusing the fact that I can zap like really quickly is what I used there. We went to Jarl Balgruuf and told him about the dragon attack on Helgen. Went to Farengar, told him that we had already picked up the Dragon Stone. So then we went to the Watchtower to watch as others fought the dragon, because we still don't have the Stormcall shout yet, so we're essentially useless at this point. So we just have to sit here watching as somebody else kills the dragon. So I sped up this footage to make sure that you wouldn't have to just see me sitting here for like 5 minutes. So, as you can see, this was a pretty boring fight. We kind of just sit here waiting for them to kill the dragon. After they killed the dragon, we headed off to finally go get the first part of the shout. Which this is located at Highgate Ruins, and yeah, I'm actually really glad that there was somebody in there that could help us named Anska. So Anska needed us to get a scroll for her or something like that, and we basically had to kill a dragon priest. And let's just say my attacks weren't doing anything against the dragon priest. So I sped up the footage for you guys, and you guys can just watch as I absolutely fail to take this dragon priest out. So in the end, we had decided to just let her take him out because she was doing a way better job than I was at attacking the dragon priest. So we sat behind a door like a wuss with our tail between our legs and did nothing because we were going to die if not. We accept the first word of Stormcall. We get assigned as Thane of Whiterun, and we go on a little bit of a bandit raid. Enjoy. So then it was off to Iverstead. We rode into Iverstead on a horse that we had stolen, sort of. We yell at some greybeards and show them the power of our Thuum. We train with them, and then it's off to take the horn. Once again, the bandit falls for no reason. Skeletons at this point taking sparks damage, it really hurts them. We then find out the horn of Jorgen Windcaller was stolen by the absolute worst, Delphine. She doesn't even believe us that we're the Dragonborn, for some reason. Tells us we're going to be heading to Kynesgrove. So, we're off to Kynesgrove, and we still don't have the ability to use a stormcall shout. So, we kind of just have to sit here waiting for her to kill the dragon. And it takes forever, because she keeps going down. This fight took, I think, 10 to 15 minutes in total. No, you went down again. It was not fun. Oh, you back up again? Thank you. Then it was off to kill another dragon, because now we can use the stormcall shout. And it's pretty powerful. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent damage. He's almost dead already. Look at him. After killing the dragon, we headed off to Delphine, and she tells us that we're going to infiltrate the Thalmor embassy. We go to Malborn, hand him everything we're going to need, which is pretty much everything we have on us. Yeah, so I need all of that and all my potions. And, yeah, that's it. That's all I need. We headed to Delphine, where she's over at the stables, and she hands us our clothing. We hop on the carriage and head off to the embassy. At the embassy, we offer Razalan a drink and have him cause a scene so we can slip away. We slip away, grab our gear, and give the zippity zap to some Thalmor. There we go. Okay, you guys are going to be a little bit more difficult. Thalmor go down pretty easily, with mostly no issues. We then rescue a prisoner, and also we rescue Malborn from his unjust execution. Unfortunately, later on, you will not see this, but Malborn will end up dying to a frost troll. We head back to Delphine, tell her that we need to look for a person named Esbern because he might know about dragons. And they think that he's hiding out in Riften. She tells us something about the 30th of Frostfall, and I'm off to Riften. I take out the Thalmor soldiers that are guarding the area. They do take a little bit out of me because I run out of mana or magicka before I can kill them. So I just have to do the little glitchy zippity zap instead. We go to Esbern, and he tells us about the end of the world, as always, and he thinks it's hopeless. But I tell him it's not hopeless. I'm Dragonborn. We then head off to Floral Host to get the second part of the stormcall shout. We do something I didn't think would work, and we glitch up the side of the wall. Did not think I was going to be able to do this, to be honest, but we do end up doing that. We learn the second word of the stormcall shout. Almost die to a spirit that is trying to murder us. Head back to Delphine with Esbern. And Esbern tells us about the Alduin's Wall that is located in Skyhaven Temple. We head to Skyhaven Temple, murder some Forsworn. They are a little bit difficult even with spark magic. We then cut ourselves because, I don't know, some sort of ritual. We find out about it on Alduin's wall that there is a shout that we must learn, but we don't know what shout. So, unfortunately, it's back to Parthenax. Or, sorry, not even back to Parthenax. It's eventually to Parthenax. First of all, we head off in a different direction. We head to Septimus Cygnus because we are going to get the scroll early. We attempt to kill dwarven spider workers and realize that that is not going to happen. So I spend most of this dungeon running away. Jadar causes a large amount of issues for me, however. He does end up killing me, I believe, twice before I am able to kill him. And I do not have the potions for this whatsoever. He ends up healing, which ends up getting me dead. He then takes me down again and murders me. And third time's the charm. He heals again, but I have enough health to where I can zippity zap him into another realm. We completely avoid the dwarven spheres because, well, I'm not dealing with that. This is probably the best moment during this stream. This is when I successfully was able to make it all the way down to the bottom with only dying once.
Don't mind me, I'm not gonna live.
This is where I died. So we tried this a second time. This time I was a little more careful, and you will be very happy with the results.
From here, it gets a little bit more complicated.
We jump to there, go down, then we jump down to this pipe and down to this part of the building, take a little bit of damage. We continue to head down very carefully. I notice that a Falmer's looking at me, and I know it's now or never. So we head down to here, jump to the pipe below, then look that there's a piece of the wall that I can jump on, and we slowly slide down to the next section. Now, I contemplate things a little bit, because this is where I could die. I quickly heal, because I do have some healing potions. And I eventually, after fully determining that I might or might not live from this, I jump down, gently land, almost die, but I don't. We actually end up surviving that, and that was probably one of the best parts of that stream. If you guys want to see more streams like this, go ahead and leave a comment down below if you guys would like to see me stream more of these. Now, of course, we were not going to be going up against a Dwarven Centurion. I wasn't even going to try. That thing was probably going to flatten me like a pancake. So, we activate the Dwarven mechanism and head into Blackreach. And, yeah, this is pretty much just going to be our normal run to Blackreach. So, on a side note, if you guys have been enjoying this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And there is not very many of you guys that are subscribed that actually watch my videos, so please subscribe. I do tons of these videos now, and I will continue to do more of these. Also leave in the comments down below what type of games you want to see me play more of and do certain challenges with. I still have a lot planned, but I'd love to see what you guys would like to see. And the support for these videos that I've been doing lately has been insane. In fact, one of the last videos that I did has already reached over 1,000 views, and that has been insane. So if you guys keep that up, we're going to be reaching our goal of 4,000 watch hours with no problem. So, anyway, back to the content at hand. We then solve a not so difficult puzzle. It's basically just pressing a button multiple times until the other button flips open. It's quite simple. It's 1, 4, and then 2, and then 1. 1, 4, 2, 1. It's a very simple pattern, and it works every single time.
And just like
We then take the scroll after it slowly descends, very dramatically. We head to the Greybeards and get their words of wisdom. Mostly they just yell at us to get off their lawn. They then teach us how to part the skies. We then get greeted by Parthenax, and we breathe fire on each other, because that is the true dragon's greeting.
Learn fire breath.
We tell him that we already have the scroll, and we use the said scroll before he even really knew about the scroll. So we use it, and we learn the Dragonrend shout from the Nord heroes. This is where things get a little bit complicated. This is our fight against Alduin, the first fight. So, the reason why this was so difficult is because Stormcall has a really long recharge time. And Dragonrend does not. And I need to shout Dragonrend multiple times to keep Alduin on the ground. We end up dying because of this. We attempt it again and die again. At this point, we had determined that this would not be possible with using Stormcall Shout. So, because we may as well kill him with anything at this point, we take out Dragon's Bane and we kill Alduin with a very elongated fight to get him down here. This was not the way that I wanted to complete the fight, but this was unfortunately the way things had to go, with Stormcall being such a long recharge time. Now, I'm sure that there would have been a way to do this if I would have glitched out the game and had like unlimited shouts, right? But that's just not in the favor of the game. So instead, I turned the difficulty down and we killed Alduin. I was already upset at this point that we couldn't complete the challenge, but I would learn later on that it wouldn't even matter in the end because, as you'll see, something will happen that will cause us to fail the challenge later anyway. So failing it sooner did not really matter. We slay Alduin, head back to Jarl Balgruuf, and say that we need to trap a dragon in the palace. He, of course, says, "Are you stupid? Are you crazy? That's not happening." We then convince him if we tell him that if there was nothing to worry about with enemies, then he would allow me. So we talk to Jarl Ulfric Stonecloak and ask if he will attend the Peace Council, and he said that he would. Tell him politics be damned, Alduin has returned, and he believes me. Head to General Tullius, and I tell him the same thing. That there's a peace council and he needs to go because we need to deal with the dragon menace. He says that he'll come to the peace council and that's that. We attend the peace council and we're going to skip this because this is long and annoying. Esbern tells us that there is a shout to call a dragon, Odahviing. And that is what we will use to trap a dragon. We head to Dragon's Reach and trap Odahviing in a trap that, I mean, if Parthenax knew about this, I'm not sure why Odahviing didn't. We convince him to take us to Skuldafn. Skuldafn was pretty much a cakewalk at this point. We go and get the third word of the shout Stormcall, and we did absolute havoc on the outside with dragons and people alike. and the Draugr alike. My apologies. There was 4 dragons, and then they all fell to stormcall. A very powerful shout stormcall is. We head and face off against Soon, and we're just kind of a point where we kind of just have to sit here and wait for the shout to recharge. We use Stormcall on him, and he gets zippity zapped with tons of lightning from the sky. It only takes a few hits of this lightning for him to submit to me. He submits and lets me into the hall. Later on, we end up shouting to the sky to part the clouds of lovely fog. Alduin comes out and we fight him. I get a lucky hit on Dragonrend. I use my shout, and this is where I realize things aren't going to go well. My shout once again has a long cooldown. The electricity from the sky will only hit him for so long before he will take off. So, I wait 3 minutes, and I use the shout again. This time, he is almost dead because of the lightning and also my companions. And I sit here and realize the only one that can kill him is me. My shout will not kill him by itself. So, I very hesitantly take out my sparks, and I zippity zap him. And that was the end of the run. So, can you beat Skyrim with only the Stormcall shout? Like I said in the beginning, no you cannot. For one, the first Alduin fight was not working because it was just not going to happen. For 2, Stormcall can only be used outside. So inside you're completely useless, which means you would have never been able to get the Dragon Stone in the first place. For 3, the last final fight with Alduin, you have to hit him with something, and it can't be the Stormcall shout as far as I could try, because any zap that hit him would not do anything. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully the next video you see from me, I am no longer sick and I am feeling much better. We shall see. So, if you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.